Okay, I'm going to be honest with you. The thought of being out here scared me. Actually, check that. It scares me like you have no idea how much I'm scared right now. You see, I'm a writer. I love it. It's where I feel creative. It's my passion. It's where I feel I can make a difference. And you know, I actually need my words with me at all times. So, a writer is meant to be in the background, his words taking center stage, allowing others to read them and hopefully to be inspired by them. The goal of every writer is to be read. The wish of every writer is to change the world. My co-passion is teaching. When I'm in a classroom alongside a group of kids, I feel like I do what I'm writing. I love it. I feel creative. I feel like I'm actually making a difference. But the difference between writing and teaching is this. When I'm in a classroom alongside a group of kids, my voice isn't the loudest like it is with writing. I am simply there to guide them, to hopefully help them find their own passions, and to help them develop their own skills to change the world. You see, the wish of every teacher is that their students change the world. So I stand here today because of my incredible students. And because of my incredible students, I write. It is because of them that I fight for education reform so that their education can be meaningful and not the same one that has been handing down since the Industrial Revolution. I fight because I fight for their voices to be heard, for their personalities to be valued, for them to know that each and every day they matter, and they are not just someone who is merely filling a seat. It is because of them that I do something way out of my comfort zone and speak to you all today, and hopefully to the world. After all, if I ask them to challenge themselves to make a difference in the world, I must do the same. And it is because of birthday cards from them with messages like this that I stand before you. After all, if I tell them they are valued, then I must value myself enough to step away from the pen and speak up. I must be that person. Now, why must I be that person, and why do I want more teachers to be that person? Well, it's simple. Because these kids are without a doubt amazing. Kids today are doing more, dealing with more, and succeeding more than any other generation in our history. They deserve an education that evolves so we can prioritize their health, their passions, and actually prepare them to be leaders today. Now notice I use the word today. We're not preparing them for tomorrow. They're already leaders. They're already their own advocates. If you look nationally, you have kids like Emma Gonzalez fighting for her generation. And I have the pleasure of teaching spectacular kids. I know Mishu. She's already out there fighting for equality. She's going to change the world. I know kids like Erica, who fights for inclusion of every single person, no matter disability, race, religion, or sex. I know kids like Phoenix. You already heard him today. He's already impacted the profession that I love. And I know kids like Jaden. Now, Jaden might not be the most talented player on my baseball team. However, he is the epitome of what it means to be a leader. When things are down or kids are going the wrong way, it is Jaden who galvanizes. It is Jaden who rallies the troops. It is Jaden who gets us together. And I know this amazing group of kindergarten kids. They love to learn, and they love everybody. You want to know why? Because they have a teacher who is that person. When I was invited to come in and visit them, they asked me to read a book to them. Then they made me dance this thing called the milkshake, which I totally crushed, by the way. All right? And then they wanted to take a picture, and they were kind of fascinated by the no hair thing. Yeah. So why must I be that person? You see, I know so many kids like this. They may be actors. They might be the musicians. They might be the science kids. They might be the art kids. They might be the kid who isn't doing well in school, but knows more about technology than all of us in this room combined. Or it could be this kid. That's my daughter. a soon-to-be middle schooler. She's a creator. She has her own YouTube channel. She'd love for you to subscribe to Emerson Gaming, by the way. But she loves to read. She loves to write. She loves to act. You know what she doesn't love? School. So I stand here today because all of these amazing kids deserve better from us, the educators. Why must I be that person? Because kids are so smart. They are so creative. They are heading into this scary world, one that we helped create, but they're actually ready to come and fix it. They're already fighting for that change. They are finding passions while dealing with this archaic system. But sadly, we are burning them out. Suicide and anxiety rates are skyrocketing to all-time highs. As we keep piling more and more onto them in the name of rigor and to get into a better college, we are not only extinguishing their passions, we're impacting their health. Now, that doesn't mean they're soft. It simply means that we have let them down. So I want to be the person to fight for them. I will stand up and say that traditional homework is useless. Honors and advanced placement courses aren't about giving more. They should be about giving better meaning. I will say that we must get rid of this number culture that drives students, teachers, principals, parents to forget the true purpose of school, which is to learn. Kids are more than a number. I will fight to get them extra rest. I will fight to give them a choice in what and how they learn. I will fight to rid the profession of this ancient thinking and all those who are beholden to it. Kids deserve it. It is our job to do it for them and to give them a chance to live a happy, content life that is fueled by two things: passion and a love of learning. Being that person means you put yourself out there in the name of kids. You become their voice. You become their safety. And you become the person that says, there is a better way. And I want more teachers to join me in being that person, to be the one who stands up for kids, to be the one who actually admits to loving this job, to being passionate about helping students find their own way, to be the one who says we can do it differently. We can do this so much better for kids. But being that person isn't always easy. It comes at a bit of a price. Now, it's a price I think is worth paying, but it can scare some. Fighting for education and reform for kids isn't just limited to your classroom. That's great for the group of kids that you have, but don't all kids deserve the best education? So, to be that person, you actually have to put yourself out there. My way, I write about education reform. I join homework committees to reform it, to make it better for kids. I will open my door for any kid at any time. I will champion any cause that makes schools just a little better for kids. But all of this is where it gets a little complicated. You see, it's easy to sit here and say or write like I do about how we teachers should act, how we should do more, be more, and go the extra miles for kids every single day, how we should prioritize to fight for kids. It's easy to say that you should share plans, share successes, share failures. All of that is easy to say. It's easy to say that you should give redos and second chances and always find the why in a kid's behavior. All of that is easy to say. It makes for really good pieces of writing, trust me. It makes for good sound clips. And truthfully, it lands you things like a TED Talk, okay? But truthfully, just as truthfully, it's relatively easy to do. If you're truly about kids, it all just kind of flows naturally. You can be that person who gives second chances to kids so they can experience failure without penalty and learn from it. It's a lifelong skill. I mean, I'm always better the second time around. Always. Don't kids deserve the same thing? You can be that person who listens, who wipes away tears, who gives pep talks. You can be the person who collaborates with others to share ideas, to take the tiniest sliver of an idea and make this a grand experience for kids. You can be the person who gives time outside of the classroom, whether it's advising clubs or stopping by a game or even just having a conversation instead of running out to lunch. But sometimes, I feel like I make this sound too simple. So I've been thinking it's almost unfair of me to ask people to be that person without giving them a warning. I feel like I've already done that to a colleague and friend of mine who faces this burden every day, whether it's through sarcastic comments from colleagues or being excluded or just outright disrespect. I feel like I'm laying this burden on a new teacher coming into the profession. And I really feel like I'm leaving this burden to a group of talented elementary school teachers who not only inspire me every day, but make school a magical place for kids. So here's your warning. When you are that person, there's some things you must learn to accept. You will be given labels. Those labels are meant to degrade you. You'll be told that you're too close to administration. You'll be told that you're a suck-up. You'll be told because you buy into an idea and you see a district's vision that you're somebody's lackey. You will be told that your intentions are not about kids, but about being liked by your bosses. Or even worse, you want to be the popular teacher. Even worse than that, you'll be told that you shouldn't care so much. You see, those who fear change want to make you more like them. When you're that person, you'll be subject to the rumor mill. They will project your perceived career goals and have discussions in the teacher's lounge or those department threads about what's next for your career. Even worse, some will talk about them with your students. Now, at first, those rumors are hurtful, but then they actually get pretty funny. I mean, I can't tell you how many times I've been named the assistant principal of North Rockland High School over the last 3 weeks even. Or just last week, I was going to be named the director of something. I don't even know what it was, but I was going to be named director. This is all despite my very public acknowledgement that I don't have my administration certificate, nor will I ever. I love the classroom. Why would I ever give that up? Or, there was this time when someone walked into my office, and this sign is hanging in my office. And he came in, he's not a friend of mine, and he just started to stare at it and look at it, and I was just doing my work. And then he turned to me and said, "Damn, Gary, you're really drinking the Kool-Aid, huh?" Now, normally these are the things I kind of just let it roll off or make like a joke and move on, but I'm on this whole mute the naysayer kick, so I couldn't let it go. So I turned to him and I said, "Are you kidding? Just because this sign means I give a..." Now, I heard you can't curse in a TED Talk, so I want you to imagine the word I actually used here. Insert any word you think I used here. Just because this sign says that I give a blank about kids, that means I'm drinking the blankin' Kool-Aid? You got to be blankin' kidding me. He turned and walked away. All of this is done in an effort to silence you, to make you feel small, and to extinguish your passion for the profession. When you are that person, you will definitely get your share of negative comments. It usually starts in this little passive-aggressive way, but then it goes to, "Why are you doing that? It's not going to make a difference." You'll be called ridiculous for personalizing something for a kid. And unfortunately, it's even worse for the new teachers coming in. You're going to be called all forms of youthfully arrogant, a label I was given my first year of teaching. You see, I wanted to create this one-on-one program for kids, for my struggling kids in my 8th grade class. And I was excited, I wrote it up, the principal loved it, I was ready to go. I was going to feed them everything. And then I got called into a team meeting, and a colleague of mine made fun of it. He called me youthfully arrogant. And then he said, "You'll realize you're wrong once you're in this game for a while." Because I was looking to do something different and something extra, a colleague found a way to chop me down. Anytime we're going to step out and do something different, we will face those comments. We will be told that we just don't get it. We'll be told that these kids can't. And we'll be told that we'll learn. Well, I must be a damn slow learner, because 21 years later, I'm still doing the same thing. I'm still looking to do what's best for kids and trying new things. But if I'm being honest, there was a point in my career where I almost left. The negativity got to me, and I seriously thought I was done. But then this amazing group of kids changed that all. The 45 minutes with them every single day changed it. So it started one day when my principal, Dr. Michael Gill, changed my life with one sentence. I'm giving you the ESL classes. Now, I sat there in disbelief. I don't speak a lick of Spanish. I didn't understand it. I thought I was being punished. And I fought him a little bit, to be honest. But he explained his vision to me, and so I bought in. And thankfully, I did. The next day, when teachers came, one person actually came up to me and said, "What'd you do to Mike to make him give you that schedule?" And at a department meeting, 2 colleagues, including my coordinator, said, "Don't worry about it. They're all going to fail anyway." Then I met the kids, these kids who gave me that jersey at the end of the year. They looked at me with fear, and truthfully, I probably looked at them even a little more scared. They were wondering if I was going to judge them. Was I going to take away their identity? So about a month in, we were treading water. Actually, I was drowning. I had no idea what I was doing. So I sat them down and I said, "Guys, I have no idea what I'm doing. I know you're working your butts off. How can I help?" It was the first time in my career, really, that I asked kids what they needed. And they told me. They told me to push them. They told me to allow them to think and speak in their own language. They challenged me to do more group work, to give them choice. They challenged me to do one-on-one writing conferences with them. Basically, it's everything I do a decade later. They made me who I am today. Those amazing kids gave me a purpose. We worked together with me asking more questions about their learning. The results, 100% of them passed that damn Regents, and 100% of them graduated high school. While I was always pro-kid, that group gave me a purpose that I keep with me a decade later. I owe them because they reminded me just how incredibly strong kids are. And truthfully, I became reinvigorated because as I started to put myself out there a little bit, I found more people like me. I found people who were into the job, wanting to create. It was department colleagues. It was the social studies teacher down the hallway. And yes, admins. You see, most people in our profession are in it for the right reasons. The naysayers simply have the loudest voice. So I want you to mute those naysayers. I want you to continue to push our profession. I want you to keep doing really cool, innovative things for kids. I want you to give kids second chances, redos, and put the emphasis on learning, not a grade. I want you to actually have relationship with kids. Be the person who cares more. Be the person who sees it differently. Be the person who loves more. Be that person. Thank you.